My name is Savannah Price, and I am a 2015 South Alabama graduate. I am interested in pursuing a full-time teaching position. In this video, you will see the student teaching experience that I have been involved in. I hope you enjoy! I attended the University of South Alabama and obtained my Bachelor's of Science degree in K-6 elementary education. I am also dual certified in K-6 special education. I have my pre-K early childhood certification as well. Throughout my time at the University of South Alabama and my student teaching experience, I have been ARI, Talents, and AMSTI certified. While in college, I was the Vice President of Community Service and a member of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. I was also inducted into Kappa Delta Pi International Honor Society in Education this past fall. My teaching philosophy is built on 5 values that I believe I possess and must continue to have throughout my teaching career. Creativity, compassion, tough love, honesty, and commitment are the 5 values I believe I possess that are important in the teaching field. Creativity is extremely important for elementary teachers. I want to be as creative as I can be because I want my students to know that learning can be fun. I believe that technology is a wonderful asset to learning in the classroom. It is important to get creative with all that technology has to offer. I will continue to find new ways for students to learn through technology. I know that being creative is not always easy, but I am committed to carrying out this value by relating certain subjects to real-life events, as well as creating a positive learning environment in my classroom at all times. Creativity goes hand in hand with commitment, which is another value I believe I possess as a teacher. I am very committed in all that I do. I will carry out the value of commitment by not giving up on anyone or anything. I expect them to always give their best in the classroom as well. I'm committed to learning new things to continue to broaden the minds and shape the lives of the students in my class daily. Tough love, honesty, and compassion are also values I rest upon as part of my teaching philosophy. I was always pushed to be the best I can be, and sometimes I got aggravated and upset, but in the end, it paid off. I plan on using tough love with my students and on myself because I know what I am capable of achieving, and it just takes commitment and time to be all that I can be. Honesty and compassion are values that I believe are important as well. I've always been told that you never get anywhere by lying, and that is completely true. I always tell the truth no matter what because it makes me feel better, as well as the situation seems to work out for the best when I am honest. I will always be honest with my students and peers. Compassion is important because everyone wants to feel loved and should be loved. I always try to put myself in the other person's shoes. I vow to be compassionate to all my students, even when it may be a bit of a struggle. Compassion is hard to have for everyone, but it is a must as I become a teacher because I know that everyone comes from different walks of life. I go by the motto, I never judge a book by its cover, and treat everyone as I want to be treated. My students can expect of me that I will treat each one of them with respect, compassion, tough love. Sure, they may get mad at me at times, but that only makes them grow as an individual because I want everyone to reach for the stars and be all that they can be. In my Tier 2 teaching experience in 3rd grade, I learned a lot as a student teacher. In this image, you can see us creating butter as colonial figures. The students also were able to taste the butter after they had made it themselves. During this same colonial lesson, the students wrote letters to others as they were being colonial people. I was also able to go on a field trip to Seward Farms with this wonderful 3rd grade class. My Tier 3 teaching experience was in 1st grade. Here I am teaching the students about recycling. They created a graph after sorting each thing that they could recycle into paper, plastics, and glass. This was a math lesson as well as science lesson. During the month of the book fair, I created a door titled Get Caught in a Good Book. These sea animals have QR codes on them from books that we thought were wonderful books to read as a class. During St. Patrick's Day, the students created writings that were titled, What is Worth More to You Than Gold? Now, my Tier 4 student teaching semester in 5th grade has really been awesome. First, I created a Leader in Me bulletin board of our students and wonderful 5th grade leaders popping up everywhere. The students in my 5th grade class wrote goal papers, Ready, Set, Goal, a perfect bulletin board during football season. The students were able to watch a video and see a painting of the Starry Night and create multiplication tessellations. In social studies, we were folk artists and created Pennsylvania Dutch hex designs just like the colonial people did in the 13 colonies. During my reading lessons, I believe that it is important for students to see information on chart paper. I created a anchor chart of inferring. I also created a compare and contrast summary that the students were able to follow along with as they created their own summary to compare and contrast the different Cinderellas that were being read. The students were now able to create their own Cinderella story. Here, students created captions for a story that we read. Reading small groups seem to be very instrumental in helping those struggling students for Tier 2 and 3 intervention in reading. Here is an example of my reading intervention plan sheet for the week of 10-19 to 10-23. And here is another lesson plan of my reading intervention for the week after. Although I believe learning is so important, I also like to have fun with my students. Here, we dressed up as characters from a book. In social studies, my students responded to a Poll Everywhere post about Benjamin Franklin and colonial kids. As well as the Poll Everywhere responses in social studies, my students also like to use Plickers to participate in to assess their knowledge of the understanding while reading the U.S. Studies Weekly newspapers. The students also are able to watch a video and respond to an open-ended writing prompt on Discovery Education. In one of my math lessons, the students created QR codes, and then they created their own real-world word problem, and the QR code is to be scanned to find the correct answer. We did this with a little help from the elves. During science, my students got to observe live microorganisms and complete lab sheets as they were observing these awesome organisms. I even was able to put the microscope on the smartboard so we could all view the moving organisms. To help us remember how vinegar eels move, some students came up with this. How vinegar eels move. So what's the question, guys?
How do vinegar eels move? They paddle.
Show us.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. How she live with the vinegar eels? How she live with the vinegar eels?
So vinegar eels, how do they move?
Whip.
They whip their whip-like motions, right? Good job. Once again, here I am, dressed up as Thing 2 for Halloween with my class on Crazy Hat Day. Thank you so much for listening to my video, and I hope you consider me for any teaching position at your school.